But let me pull up an image here. Which one of you wants to go first on this? The Craigslist Batmobile.
That's basically it. Oh my gosh. I swear I have seen fans put together custom cars that look better than this.
Now I would like to say one thing. As someone who is into NASCAR racing, and as someone who lives in Southern Maryland, where we have a dirt track, as if anybody's ever watched dirt track racing.
Sure.
And if you've seen the cars that they race on these dirt tracks, the ones that look like that they went out to an old corrugated shed and started putting together with, I don't know, rivets or whatever. I've seen better looking cars after they've raced than this piece of POS that they've got him driving in this film. I don't know what the hell they're thinking.
It's basically just a Chevy Camaro. Like, I don't even see a bat fin on it. Like, maybe that spoiler in the back sort of trying to be one, but it's not really.
I think what bothers me is, and they said this about the suit. They've said it about everything going along. Well, this is his first time out. This is like year zero, whatever. And I'm like, that's fine. We're still talking about a billionaire here.
Exactly.
Who's got
a genius billionaire.
Yeah. He doesn't need a stock car that he puts some Bondo on. He can get some, concept car from the, that doesn't even get to show up in the auto show or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say one thing though. If you're a multi-billionaire out at night fighting crime under, incognito, I think if you show up in a Maserati, somebody's going to put two and two together and figure out, it's like, who can afford a Maserati? Okay,
you should not be able to look at the Batmobile. You shouldn't be able to look at the Batmobile and say what kind of car it is. You shouldn't be able to say Maserati, Lamborghini. You should look at that and go, what the hell is that?
Yeah, but you should have, like I said, I've seen things on the streets down here where I live of, good old boy redneck guys who've bought a like 77 Z28 and, decided to do some work on it. Like you said, put a little Bondo on it, spray paint that bad boy with some black paint and start cruising up on a Friday night down Route 235. I don't know, just that's such a local reference, but that's what you see. There's nothing special to it. It's not the Batmobile. Right. The Batmobile should stick out. The Batmobile should have a bat motif of some sort, a fin, little with the little indentations like a bat wing, something that has at least some kind of design aesthetic to a bat, not to the bandit running from Smokey with Burt Reynolds. I mean,
Paul, I'll never move out. Don't you ever threaten me like that again.
Here's my my thoughts on this. I have a few things to say about it. First of all, I think Matt Reeves is playing the no publicity is bad publicity game here, because the last few reveals have been things which anybody with a modicum of sense is going to know is going to outrage the populace out here. Not providing any kind of context for them, just showing the images out there. So we've got the crap suit, the Batmobile, the Bat Cycle, which is ridiculous, and now this Batmobile. I think he's playing that up, and he knows that it's so early in the game. He knows that the real reveals, the actual scenes and actual stuff like that, with effects in place and all that kind of stuff's coming later. I think he's trying to drum up as much talk about it and just get people talking about it. Now that can bite him in the butt, though. Here's the thing: I honestly kind of fully expect. I don't know for sure, but I suspect maybe. I really hope this isn't like the car that sticks throughout the whole movie and the suit that sticks throughout the whole movie. I do suspect at some point in the movie, they're planning one of those things like we talked about with the suit, where it's like, okay, now he hooks up with Lucius Fox or something. And now he gets, some better designs or whatever going forward. The problem, though, is that you should never start like this. And I know some people, some tellings of Batman say, oh, but in his first years, he's not really sure yet. And he's still kind of low tech. No, like you said, Troy, he's a freaking billionaire. He's a genius from his very beginning, the very incarnation in the conception of this Bat motif, this Bat persona that he's taking on. He should be much more together than this. This, like I said, is just anybody. You don't have to be a billionaire to put something like that together. And it also pisses me off because it shows that clearly this is not in any way. I mean, we're beyond. This is an absolute definitive. We're not going to get the iconic Batman out of this movie. I had hoped there was a possibility of that, hearing Matt Reeves talk about his approach to the film being very noir and detective and Hitchcocky and all that. That sounded wonderful. But he's clearly not going to give us that, because just like Chris Nolan, just like Zack Snyder, he's going to try to play up the realism of it. So this nonsense idea, but we wanted to get something that would be realistic that he might be able to put together and this and that. Here's the problem with that realism. It's so self-defeating when you're talking about the freaking superhero genre. This is not supposed to be, I don't know, Death Wish or something like that, or I don't know, it's not a very good reference, but something that, would be very realistic and blah, blah, blah. It's a comic book movie. Enough with this crap about it's not a comic book movie. It's a movie about superheroes and comic books. It's not a comic book movie. Shut up. It's a comic book movie. Give us what we want. If this is supposed to be realistic, what is that open engine in the back? Do you know how easy that would be to sabotage for any villain ever?
That was one of the first things I thought is like, I mean, any good villain is going to have an access to one of those shoulder missile things.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, it's done. Batmobile crippled.
With
one shot. I mean, it's just there's got to be some kind of a blade of armor on there.
Now, I am going to say that now, and I know this goes to we're so used to horrendous crap that something that's less crappy seems better by comparison. Mm-hmm. At least if he's going for the, any publicity is good publicity, going this route is significantly better than saying, and if you don't come see this Batman movie, you are an ist and a phobe. And, I mean,
Well,
True.
I'll give him this. It's better than the Nolan tank thing, and it's better than
True.
the Batfleck dune buggy,
mm-hmm.
whatever that thing was.
Yeah.
At least this is a car.
However, I would say though that at least Nolan's Batmobile was interesting and didn't look like anything else that was out there. Wait, did I say Batmobile? I meant Batcycle. But I guess that's true of that too. I meant the cycle. Mm-hmm. It's terribly impractical, but again, you don't want it to be practical. This is again supposed to be an actual superhero movie, and it does strike me as the kind of thing that Bruce Wayne would have. Mm-hmm. You go back, but let's face it, you go back to what I want to see in the movies. I want to see something like the '89 Batmobile.
Exactly.
I want to see it, come up with a CG, shield around it when he walks away from it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I totally agree with you, you both of you, I think, but I'll just mention that at least this is a car. Absolutely. 100%.
Sure.
But I agree with you out there. So I think it needed to take more of a cue from the '89 Batmobile. Now, a lot of people who didn't like, that's old, get over it, blah, blah, shut up. I'm not saying that you need to go by Tim Burton's exact aesthetic. Okay. Tim Burton has a very specific aesthetic. It doesn't have to be that exaggerated if you don't want it to be and so forth. But that Tim Burton's Batmobile from '89, that has been the basic model that so many iconic Batmobiles, any iconic Batmobile really since then has taken its cue from, and it doesn't have to follow the Tim Burton aesthetic. I give, for example, the Batmobile that was in, it was featured in Arkham Asylum, the first of the Arkham games. You didn't get to drive it or anything, but you went to the trunk to get some explosive gel out of it. And it basically had that look, but it wasn't quite as exaggerated and stuff like that. I mean, you go for that. Or, in the comics, they've done some kind of throwbacks to the old, like the bat face on the front. I'm not saying you need to have a bat face on the front for the live action movie or anything like that. But if you're going to go the car route, that's great. You gave us a solid car again. Good. How difficult is it to soup it up? And, you shouldn't be able to see under the Batmobile. I mean, anybody can slide under there and do whatever they want to it. It's, it should have, like you're saying, the shields. It should have capabilities. I don't like this idea of a low-tech billionaire It's just ridiculous. That's not Batman. That's some of the most recent, some of the New 52 bullshit. That's some of the recent, Batman kind of stuff that's been in the comics. Like, wouldn't it be cool if he was like a caveman for the first 2 years? No, that's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's some completely other character. It's not Batman. So he's all about style. He's noir. He's supposed to be this gothic. Give it to him. Stop making hillbilly Batman here with the Camaro.
Billy Batman, I like that. Or
I like
redneck Batman. I would have loved to have seen something. Now I've given my opinion on the '89 Batmobile. It's too long. I think if you shorten it up a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be exaggerated.
Actually,
I would love to see a shorter version of the animated series Batmobile,
which took its cue from the '89. Exactly.
Absolutely.
It took a
It
cue,
was just easier to draw.
but it was much sleeker. It looked more. There was something a little more intimidating about it. I thought it didn't have the curve. It was more straight edged.
Mm-hmm.
It was. It looked like an impressive vehicle, but it also looked tactical. So it kind of gave you the best of all things. Of course, me, I'd want a Plymouth for the '60s, but
and it looked kind of Art Deco too, which
it had that
exactly
really Art Deco look. Like I said, you take that and you put a bat face on the front. That's the perfect bat, because I've always been a fan of like the '40s, '50s versions where you have the bat face on the front and you have the one fin.
My problem with that look. My problem with the bat face on the front, though, is the same problem that I have with the toys that come out with the bat symbol on the side that say Batman. It's like, no.
You're making a battering ram.
Exactly.
Battering ram.
I want to point out one comment from Spidey Rules 1962. He says, people usually say Batman should be realistic because he doesn't have superpowers. By that logic, he should have died from overexertion after about 2 years.
Amen.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
But
thank you.
Be careful saying that, because that's all we need is for them to do, a movie where he's
Exactly.
dead at the end because they're being hyper realistic about it. It's like, come on,
Yeah. And just how hard is it to give us an icon with all of the time, for all the times you've tried to go this realistic track with Batman? Like I understand that Burton started with the more idealized Batman, and that was wonderful, But then it devolved into the nonsense that eventually got us the Joel Schumacher crazy crap and everything. So I get that you don't want to go down that path again, but okay, we've equally beaten the realistic Batman into the ground now. Can we go back to some sort of medium?
Yeah.
I mean, is it that hard? Is that too much to ask?
But of course, we look at this. We're getting pictures. We don't know story. We don't know action. We don't know how this is all going to evolve. Even if this is the final version, if it's still a good, tight Batman story, I think that will change it. And Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne, and Batman is doing what Batman does. I think that's going to be the be all end all. But I just wish they'd made better design choices.
Well, so here's the like you said, what you're saying, Al. It could still be a good movie. Well, here's the thing. Like I said, it's absolutely not going to be an iconic take, like the iconic take on Batman at all. That's true. Now, what could it still be? So, like you said, if they still get the character right in terms of personality, in terms of what he would do, what he wouldn't do, and stuff like that, it could still be a decent Batman movie in terms of it's a Batman movie if Batman was like this or that with the tech or whatever, I mean, because honestly, we've never, even Tim Burton's Batman '89, you still can't say that is the 100% iconic Batman, because even Burton and his writers made some changes that they shouldn't have made, so that's just another reason why it's so frustrating. We're still not going to get it, but it still could be a good movie. I haven't seen absolute deal breakers yet. This is just really disappointing. It's disappointing because it solidly takes it out of the running for being the real iconic Batman movie I wanted it to be, but it's not an absolute deal breaker. If you, like you said, the movie's good, and it can just be another one of the Batman movies. It's pretty good, but doesn't quite get to Batman,